Hey everyone, so to start off the new year here, we are going to get back into the book of Revelations a little bit. I'll probably do other devotions in between these things a little bit here and there. But I figure it's a good time to really do a study of Revelations. I had done a small study on it, a small series on my main channel on YouTube. And I figure, it's good to do it for my podcast as well and get that up there so people have the chance to see what the book of Revelations is all about and to see how it really ties into today and today's events. And we're seeing more and more signs of it being checked off here and there. Over the past year especially, we've seen more than what I would have thought. And so hopefully in 2021 here, we'll see, its relevance a little bit more here. And so where we're going to start off is just looking at whether or not it is relevant today, which I'll tell you right now it is. And I think it's important for us to look at it and to study it and to recognize the signs so that we can not only be prepared, but we can prepare other people because they need to be prepared. They need to come to Christ. They don't want to have to live through this. So we're looking at this today. Beyond Today is kind of going to be a main source for this. I like a lot of the stuff that they have to say about this. There are little bits here and there that I maybe don't 100% agree with, but no matter what you're looking at, everybody's got different interpretations. So the name of the book, Revelation, is a translation of the title in the original New Testament Greek, Apocalypsis, and the origin of the other name by which the book is known, which is Apocalypse. The Greek term denotes an unveiling and uncovering, thus a revelation, and that's where it gets its name. It is here that it signifies an opening of the hidden knowledge of understanding. This book has perplexed readers for almost 2,000 years. Over the centuries, it has been one of the most misunderstood and misinterpreted books. Yet it need not be so. But like I said, everybody's got different interpretations and they all look at different things from different perspectives, just simply because of all the analogies and symbolism that is used in there, because Apostle John would not have known what he was looking at when he was being revealed to him. He would not understand our technology. The fundamental message of the book of Revelations is simple. It promises that God will institute universal peace, prosperity, and cooperation over all the earth immediately after the return of Jesus Christ. It reveals how this wonderful new world will be established and why it will never be destroyed or superseded by any other way of life or social order. Many people believe the book of Revelations is all about bad news. Although it reveals where our actions and decisions will take us, it also shows how mankind will finally experience a world of peace. The book of Revelation also describes an incredible, deceptive alliance of international powerful political and religious entities attempting to prevent Jesus' reign from ever being established. Their opposition to him and his saints will result in a time of international turmoil and suffering unlike anything the world has ever seen or will see again after it. The terrifying weapons developed and manufactured using modern technology are an indication that the terrible time of trouble may be much nearer than what many may think. I think actually it is definitely going to happen much sooner than what anybody's expecting. And as I referenced in my previous series, Jesus is going to come like a thief in the night. So if someone is predicting a date, it probably won't happen on that date, simply because God has said he will come like a thief in the night. He'll come unexpectedly. But looking at the signs, I definitely think, it's going to happen much sooner than what people have been thinking it will. Nations have already stockpiled more than enough weapons to annihilate all human life from the face of the earth. Rogue nations increasingly gain the ability to produce and use horrifying weapons of mass destruction. We see this with all the terrorism that are out there, and with China's building of power, I think that is going to play a huge part in Revelations. Even more frightful are terrorist groups unable to attain their goals by conventional arms or diplomacy that now have access to deadly weapons. Respected advisors on international security warn that danger of nuclear weapons being produced by rogue nations or terrorist groups grows even higher. Nuclear weapons are only one of several means of mass destruction available to unscrupulous leaders and terrorists bent on achieving their ends by any means, including mass carnage. We also see the UN here gaining more and more power, and they are controlling much of what we see happening in Canada is controlled by the UN and the World Economic Forum. And by those two alone gaining so much power, it's a bad sign for Canada, because much of the control of the UN is actually controlled by nations such as China and some of the Arab nations that are known to be terrorist nations. The book of Revelations presents us with good news and bad news about the future, giving us both aspects of the picture. On the one hand, it describes the terrifying tools of destruction our advanced technology will produce and a deceived humanity will use at the end of this age. But it also reveals how the living God, the creator of the universe, will intervene to prevent the annihilation of humankind, although we come close. It further reveals the wonderful time of peace and transformed world that will follow those horrible days. Where is mankind's race to develop ever more destructive weapons taking us? The book of Revelations describes how we will ultimately reap what we have sown, bringing on ourselves unimaginable human suffering before God intervenes. And you need to understand God's description of what lies ahead and what it means to you. You need to understand how you can be a part of the good news He reveals about the future. Once you grasp the message of Revelation, you too will see that it contains the most remarkable message of hope ever written. Its fundamental message is plain and its conclusion certain. And it will end up being God coming. And He will reign on earth, and Jesus Christ will take His rightful throne. And we will worship Him, and it will be just amazing. I am so looking forward to that day when we get to just live with Jesus Christ and God and the Holy Spirit, and just be there and be able to just worship Him and see His glory, because that is something I have longed for a long time, is just to see His glory. And we can see it in little bits all around, but to see it all at once, just revel in it, it will be so amazing. And I think we should all be looking forward to that as Christians. And so next up, in the next segments here, we'll be looking at some of the keys to understanding the book of Revelations, and to try and gain that knowledge that we need to understand what is coming. And that is something that is going to be very, very important in terms of hope, when we see so much hopelessness right now in what is happening all around us, and the attack on small businesses, so that all the power ends up in the hands of the elites, and the pressure that's going to put on everybody who is not an elite, such as myself, and the devastating results that we might see happening from that. So just be prepared for all of that, and know in your heart that God is in control. He has a plan. It's all predicted. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tune in tomorrow for a little bit more from Revelations.